Buddha's third and fourth noble truth give us a way to reduce the suffering that seems inevitable no matter who you are. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm Swati Desai. I'm a mindfulness teacher, founder of 2meditate.com, and a psychology professional. So the third noble truth says that the way out of suffering is to let go of attachment. Attachment is not just a simple attachment that we refer to, but attachment in this case means clinging to things, which includes desperate desire as well as intense hatred. Either way, if you're running away from things or if you are acting out of greed more and more and desire, then either way it is attachment, and let go of attachment. But how? And that's what the fourth noble truth talks about. It says, follow the Eightfold Path. What is the Eightfold Path? It has three different divisions. It has 8 factors, 8 folds, but the 8 folds are divided into 3 different divisions. Division number 1 would be called wisdom. In Pali, it's called panya. So that one is right understanding and right intention. Right understanding it would involve knowing that whatever action we are taking today is going to have consequences somewhere. It will have ripple effect everywhere. So be aware of that. And right intention would be not to have the intention of harming somebody. And if that is the foundation, then right intention typically leads to good results. So this is the wisdom. This wisdom is going to save us from clinging. However, before we get into this wisdom, we will need to have the 3 factors or 3 folds of what one would call as the good conduct, ethics, or sila as it is called in Pali. So these are 3 folds. First is right speech, skillful speech. Second is right livelihood. So that doesn't mean you become a monk and you start begging for food. You can take up any livelihood you want, except avoid exercising a livelihood that asks you to have violence against someone intentionally, as well as something that is based on greed more and more. These things would not constitute as right livelihood. And then the third thing is right action. Right action would be refrain from stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and getting intoxicated that you don't know what you're doing. And all these things it makes sense. We have heard all these things as we were growing up. And it still holds value in our lives. Refrain from these things. So these 3 folds would be called sila. And then along with it, you also want to practice the other 2 folds, which is samadhi, or attention, the right kind of attention. So what is that? It's right mindfulness, right concentration, and right action. So what is the right efforts? Right efforts. So right mindfulness is to be aware. With objective intention, you are aware of what's, and as we know, awareness is the first step towards changing anything. The second aspect, which is concentration, is to learn to focus on whatever you need to, not to get too scattered. And we know this. We know that when we are very, very scattered and where we cannot concentrate on anything, that doesn't really help us in life. So right concentration. And the third thing is right effort. Now this effort again is something that you refrain from harming other people, but you are motivated, you have energy, and that's the way you approach life. So let me repeat all these 8 folds again. The first 2, wisdom, which is right understanding and right intention. Then the next 3 is shila or ethics, and that is right speech, right livelihood, and right action. And the last 3, which are samadhi or attention, and that is right mindfulness, right concentration, and right effort. So all these things together is Eightfold Path, and think about each one of them separately and dwell some time over it. You will understand why practicing these things will move you away from the attachment that is clinging, that is aversion and intense desire. And when you let go of this attachment, then suddenly you can experience some amount of freedom and liberation.